Hello, my name is Janie. I'm 32 years old. I'm a fitness trainer and I'm here to tell you my story that involves burnout, complex PTSD, and ultimately the main topic of this video is Mirena and intracranial hypertension, or so-called pseudotumor cerebri. So if you want to know a bit more about just this part, I'm going to put on the description the time that it starts about Mirena, if you came up to this video about that. Otherwise, it's going to be a long video because I've been sick for about almost 2 years now, and I have to explain everything, how I got to the point that I am now. And the reasons for me to make this video is firstly to tell my story, to get out of my chest, of my heart, put it out there. I've been in my own quarantine for about 2 years now. So it's been a long journey and the most difficult times of my life. And I couldn't explain in details before. I have friends from all over the world. And sometimes all I could do is just tell them that I was very sick, or I had a burnout or something like that. But I could not call everyone and explain exactly what I had. So this is my part of the reason I'm making this video. The other part is to bring awareness of the importance of our body and our mind connection, and bring awareness on mental health. Because if you see my Instagram, Fanatic Fitness, I'm gonna put it down as well. On the description, you'll see that I always look strong and healthy, but everybody is struggling, and I want to be an ambassador. I am an ambassador for mental health. And finally, the main reason for this video is to help women in similar situation. I got to a point of total and absolute desperation, and what I did was look on YouTube for women who are going through the same thing as me, to have some kind of answer or support, or just to feel understood, just to have a light in the darkness. So I want to help women in a similar situation by sharing my story. Maybe it's relatable to some of you. And yeah, especially shedding some light for women. If you are thinking about putting Mirena, if you are considering inserting the IUD, hormonal IUD Mirena, please watch this video. This video is mostly about my horror story nightmare I had with Mirena. So main takeout is that you're not alone if you're suffering, and if you got to this video, please hang on there. Let's talk about it. I have some papers right now here, so that's why sometimes I'm looking down. So here we go. My story started about 2 years ago, actually in my childhood. I come from a dysfunctional Brazilian family, very poor, from the south of Brazil. And I had several traumas in my childhood. I've been always a fighter. I fought my way to get out of Brazil, and now I live in the Netherlands. And that's a very short story. And between that, there is a sea of very sad things that happened to me, but also a lot of nice things in people that I met. But I'm telling you this to tell you that I had a burnout about a year and a half, 2 years ago. It was really strong and bad. I was working a lot. I live in a city called The Hague in English, and I was working in Amsterdam. So it took me 2 hours to go, 2 hours back every day because of traffic. And work condition where I was working was really crazy. A lot of stress, extremely stressful job. Anyway, I had a burnout. And it was not a simple burnout that you stay away a little bit and then you recover. I got to the point that I was fainting. I was fainting almost every day. Actually, it was really bad. I was extremely tired, exhausted, fainting, just sick. My head was just exploding all the time with the light and the sounds. I couldn't take it. So I fell ill, and I was a moment in bed like for almost 2 months. And then I started slowly getting a little bit better, but I never really got super good, sorry. I will stay a little bit better, maybe a week or so, and then super bad again. On boxing, I found really my way to let out all this anger and frustration and disappointment of everything that happened. So sometimes it would really help me, but sometimes I dove too much in the sports to try to get it out of my head, what I was feeling. But yeah, eventually it worked against me. So I was, to make the story short, I was good for maybe a week or two. And my good is not a normal good. It's just being able to get up off the bed and make my own food and have a shower. And then I was horribly sick for a month, 3 weeks. In this long journey, about a year and a half or a year, I've had the most amazing psychologist, and I say that because I've been through a lot of psychologists in my life, and nobody ever thought, hey, let's treat the cause instead of the symptoms of what you have. So I always, I grew a lot, and I'm very grateful for the few psychologists that I had before, but the thing I need to treat was complex PTSD. So with her, I realized that I have complex PTSD and how absolutely horrible it can be to your body. So when I was telling people what I feel, they didn't understand. They thought I was always depressed, but no, it was different from depressed. I've been depressed before. When my grandma died, I was raised by her. So when she died, I was depressed. I just wanted to die. I didn't want to live anymore. I had the strength physical, but I wanted to be in bed. I didn't want to do anything. When I had a burnout, I wanted to do everything. I wanted to do all my sports, to see my friends, to go to parties, to do things, but I couldn't get up. So it's different, and that was really annoying and distressful because people always thought, but you're anxious, you're depressed. No, I just am in a physical state that everything hurts, my whole body, my body pain. I went to the physiotherapy. It was like this. I couldn't move anymore. And today she's one of my best friends. So that's also something good. I always try to look for the good things. But the point is, the traumas, all the traumas in my body and the burnout caused a lot of body pain. Extreme chronic pain 24/7 that will not go away. So that's basically the story of a year and a half, how has been every bloody day of my life. There has been single days that I didn't have pain, and I just continued going on with my life as I could, trying to do sports until the point that I decided, okay, I cannot do anything anymore, I will stop. That was about a year, year and a half, year and 3 months or so. To be honest, I don't even remember well because it's been so long that I've been sick. And then I always got sick when I had my period, and I always took hormones. In this, pills, contraceptive pills with hormones, in order not to have a period, because I had a condition called period flu. So I have the same symptoms of a very extreme flu while I have my period. So I went to see my gynecologist, and I told her, look, I don't want to use the pill anymore. I want to reduce the amount of hormones. What can we do? But I cannot have my period. So she recommended me the IUD Mirena. And that's when the main story of this video happened. I gave you a bit of background before, and sorry if it was a bit too long, but it's hard to explain everything, almost 2 years and 9 minutes and a half. But that's why I needed to explain to you. So I put Mirena, I inserted Mirena. Mirena is an intrauterine device, it goes inside your uterus, and basically it's just a contraception device. But in my case, I was single back then. It was really because it would stop my periods. So I didn't have this period flu on the top of all the body pain I already have for a year and a half. So I thought, wow, amazing. And she said, oh, I was less hormones in a pill. So I think it's also be better for you because of that. Well, I put it and I had Mirena for about 6 months. And when I just started getting better, like a year and a half from my burnout, I started seeing results. I put the Mirena and everything that I don't know, horror story, because the burnout itself was also a horror story, but it just got a nightmare, a living nightmare. So I have here, this is when I last went to the doctor, and this is all the symptoms I had. So since the Mirena, just everything starts going worse and worse and worse. But the point is, when you are chronically ill for so long, like I was, and the symptoms cross with the burnout and the PTSD, you kind of lose yourself, you know? You don't know anymore what's real and what's not, or not what's not real. Of course, everything was real because I felt everything, but I didn't think much that was because of Mirena, you know? I thought it was still from the burnout and the complex PTSD. I'm waiting to start a treatment just for the PTSD now. So I was like just hanging on until I would start. But, you know, I said at the beginning of the video, I want to say the importance about the body and the mind, because we get so much in our minds in the Western culture that we forgot we have our body, and our bodies has such a great knowledge. And is there, and is so important, if not more than the brain, you know, than the mind, not the brain, sorry. But I was too much in my mind that this is just the burnout, is the PTSD. So if I contacted doctors, they would say, yeah, hang on in there, you're gonna start the treatment. And when I checked the symptoms I had, indeed, they crossed with the burnout, with PTSD. But I started doing Tai Chi about 6 months ago, yeah, about the same time, 5 months or so. And I started making such a connection with my body again, and I realized I've been neglecting my body. And why I'm telling you that, it's because I learned how to listen to my body instead of my mind only. And my body was telling me, girl, this is not emotional, this is not from your mind, this is something physical, this is something physiological. So I was basically with all this, I'm gonna read for you. Jaw pain, but this is something I know I have for a long time, but all connected with disorientation, mental disorientation. So for instance, I was walking and then everything was just twisting or dizzy or mental confusion, brain fog. I could not read a book, I could not watch my phone or computer or TV, anything for more than 10 minutes or so. Anything that needed focus was too much for me. I was feeling dizzy, and I'm just shaking right now to tell you this. Extremely dizzy, I wanted to vomit, I was nauseous, and brain fog, and that's what people again didn't understand. When I tell them there was too much for my head, they thought I was having a panic attack or anxiety. No, I'm super calm inside, very centered, but it was just like physically a brain fog, a mental confusion. It was like, oh, what's going on? If you ever fainted or you had vertigo, you know, you are in this, oh, what's going on? This was the situation. Nausea, dizziness, extreme 24/7. The moment I would open my eyes, the moment I would close in the bed, I just wanted to cry because it was so much. I am even, yeah, emotional, because only if you went through this, you know how horrible it is to live with a condition 24/7 like this, you know. it breaks every little piece of you, of hope, and it just destroys and breaks every little part that you have hope, because every day is worse and worse to hold on to it. I had a loss of appetite. I'm already skinny, as you can see, but yeah, I lost a lot of weight. I couldn't eat anymore. I was always sick after eating. I had lumps in lymph nodes, like here, and in my groin. So my body was telling me, hey girl, there's something wrong, you know? And the worst of all, a migraine, horrible. My entire life, even during the burnout, I never had a headache or migraine. But this migraine was like a drill from one side to the other, behind my eyes, on the back here of my head, like in these 2 points where the skull meets the neck, you know. Neck and upper back, clicking, cracking, like really disturbing noise. Pain that would irradiate from the head to my arm and my hands, to the point that I was numb or shaking like this. And a constant buzz in my ear, tinnitus, really sometimes I was just watching something and then it started like, and super loud. I just had to, I have vertigos. I will complete the list because otherwise I'm going to be another 5 minutes here, but vertigo, loss of my legs. I started losing, I put loss of my legs. I was just walking and then I start losing it, you know. Body, hand tremors, blurred vision, aura here, you know, when you see like a lightning. And loss of peripheral sight when I had really bad migraines. Well, I called the doctor and she said, yeah, it sounds like a migraine. I can give you a medicine for blood pressure. And I said, no, I'm super healthy despite this. You know, I'm someone who will really look after my health in a holistic way. And I said, no, I don't want to be taking blood pressure medicine if I don't have it. So I went to YouTube and I started looking for stories. And I came up with some, I met some other stories similar, especially the migraine, dizziness, nausea. But I found a lawsuit, actually a video of a lawsuit from US, from a law company, sorry, a law firm, who are inviting women for the lawsuit against Mirena. And they were saying that Mirena caused idiopathic intracranial hypertension, or so-called pseudotumor cerebri. In simple words, it raises the blood pressure in your brain. So it has a particular hormone. It's a synthetic form of the hormone progestin, which reacts with different more types of hormonal receptors than normal contraceptives. And this causes your blood pressure in your brain to raise, and it causes a condition called pseudotumor cerebri, or intracranial hypertension, which basically means that the tension, the pressure, the blood pressure in your brain is too high. When I start researching about this, bingo, 1 to 1 to 1, tick, 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 tick. Absolutely everything that I felt was in this. And I'm aware that some things cross with the burnout and PTSD, but my main proof that this was caused by Mirena is that I went to the doctor and I said, please take this away from my body. Take this away from me. I felt that my body wanted it out. And this was exactly a month ago. And let me tell you, I took this out in 2 days. 1 day after, I started feeling less body pain, less dizziness, less nausea. 2 days after, no more migraine. 3 days after, not even headache. Oh my God, I forgot how it is to live without headache. It was slowly, all of this disorientation, mental confusion, brain fog, lowering, 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 lowering down. And this is the biggest proof for me that it was this, that Mirena caused me to raise the blood pressure in my brain, is that it's been a month and I just feel like I'm in a paradise. I know I still have to treat the complex PTSD, I still have other symptoms, but in a way lower than before, in a lower rate and lower grade than before. So I talked to the doctor, she referred me to the neurologist, and I didn't go to the neurologist yet because the weight, she said, first let's remove the Mirena and see how you feel. If you don't feel well in 1 week, then we're gonna make an urgent call. But yeah, it starts getting better and better, and this is the main proof for me that Mirena raised the blood pressure in my brain. So the main take of this is, if you're suffering with all of this and you have Mirena, please talk to your doctor. Do some research. You don't need to believe in me. Look out. I never contacted this law firm or anything. That's not the point. I'm not here to recruit you for a lawsuit. I'm here to tell you that you are not alone if you are feeling this. In this company, I read that 12 million women in the US have extreme migraine every month because of contraceptive. And we are doing this to our bodies, you know? So that really got me thinking, why are we doing this for our bodies? And well, men don't have any contraceptive. We have to deal with everything. But that's another story, right? The bottom line, you're not alone. Don't give up. If you have all this pain, please check. I'm not a doctor. Check with your doctor. Tell them this story. If you have these symptoms that I have, check. Look on Google intracranial hypertension or pseudotumor cerebri. I was living 6 months of my life. I forgot to tell you why it's called pseudotumor cerebri. It's because you don't have a tumor, but you have all the symptoms. So I was living for 6 months of my life. I was trying to work, I was trying to read, to study at home, going to the supermarket. Every little thing was so damn hard for me. Going to the supermarket, the lights, the people, the noise. I haven't been in a bar or something public for a long time. Of course now with Corona, but I mean even before that. It was just hell. It was just chaos for me. It was so hard. Because I was walking around like someone who has a tumor in their brain. I had the same feeling. So please, if you have this, if you have any questions, please write me down, contact me. This is the first video of my channel, but actually I'm slowly trying to become a fitness trainer because of my condition. It was hard before, but now I'm full of hope. I'm waiting for my treatment for the complex PTSD. But besides that, I have so much happiness and gratitude back that I can just do normal things, you know. Oh my God, I can wash my dishes. I can make a dinner for me. You know, I am lucky that I have the most amazing boyfriend with me all this time. And again, I'm emotional because only if you are with someone that is so sick like this, you can understand how hard it is. And I was so lucky that I have him. I am so lucky that he was cooking for me and doing everything, you know, in the house. Otherwise, I really don't know how it would be because I couldn't cook for myself. I couldn't shower sometimes, you know. So if you have any of this, hang on in there. Please contact your doctor. Tell them about this condition. Look, search before. Every person is different. You have to check your background. But I'm here to share my story and hopefully bring some light, some light in darkness, some hope for you that you can get out of this. And if you are considering Mirena, I want to make something very clear here. I have friends, one friend who have two friends actually who have Mirena, and they are okay with that. They are good. If you have a history like mine, if you have a burnout or PTSD or something different that can influence, if you are someone sensitive to hormonal change and things like that, please don't do it. Otherwise, again, it can work for you, but it's a Russian roulette. You know, you can happen to you the same that happened to me, or you can just be okay like my friend. But just please take in mind your history, your background. And if you are suffering with this, if you have Mirena, please talk to your gynecologist or your general practitioner. I'll leave here my hope, my love, and my thanks so much for listening to it. For all my friends who are watching, I'm sorry I couldn't reply your message. I couldn't even write before. But I hope now you understand why I disappeared this time of my life. And I also want to thank each and every one of you who helped me through it and who are here for me, or just by text, by video call, by message, by email. Love you so much. Don't give up hope, anybody. There is always a light in the end of the tunnel, and there's always things to learn and good things to take out of this. And certainly this has been like the hardest year, last year, the hardest year of my life, despite the year that my grandma died. But I dove into journey into myself so big, and I learned so much about myself that I don't think I could ever learn any other way. So love you so much. A big, big kiss, and don't lose hope. Let's keep going. There's always something better to look for. Mwah.